Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You are doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say there is nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the labyrinth of the ancients, and every day brings new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 sentinels stood between us and the labyrinth initially. In like manner, the entryway to the principal spire, Syrcus Tower, the Elegants called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we can be of assistance. And you are? Be at ease, friends, for we share the self-same goal. I am Une, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Algan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist in your endeavor. Une and Doga? Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of recent incidents at the Isle of Val, I should think they have rather more pressing concerns. Ooh, Isle of Vale call out. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is it, Graha? 'Tis nothing. There was a pain, but it has subsided. Well, well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. Same? You have the Allegan eye as well? The sanguine hue is said to be a trait unique to the Allegans, yet I inherited it from my father, as did he from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I had sought to learn more of the truth of its manifestation. If there's aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the trait are bound to fate by Alleg. As your eye has placed you on the path you walk, so too have we come to here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. Seems to me we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with the students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there will be no objections? Very well. As of this moment, I name Une and Doga advisory members of NOAA. Without further ado, let's have them examine the Syrcus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. Viewers, I should be much obliged if you were to accompany our new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 sentinels. The 2 of them can show you the way. On arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, viewers. With Une and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I am hopeful that we will finally see progress. Hey, Biggs. Well, if it isn't viewers! Eager to enter Syrcus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up, tied as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent. It's been slow going, or rather, no going. For the chief, he'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. It's a big door. Very large. Ah, some old faces to lift up the spirit, and a couple of new ones besides. Allow me to introduce Une and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alag, sent here by our friends of the Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you're having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hopes that we can be of some small assistance. Your attire is ought to go by. Your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Syrcus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. Problem is, we can't get it to open, sealed by some mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no success of a more orthodox method, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 sentinels, but that doesn't make it any less effective as a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue we have is the elaborate device carved upon it. A man and a woman, expectant. Elegant royalty by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it's purely decorative. You're thinking force it, save your strength. It's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed, why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? Pretty awesome. I don't think any of us expected that to happen. 7 hells, what is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. The virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment, but I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero, you still alive? Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. But I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is for all intents and purposes defunct. My association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Gorlamald. And so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. A gesture of goodwill I will share with you what I know, starting with these 2 odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alag's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a select few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Allegan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty. Living keys born of Allegan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? It would seem that the time for concealment has passed. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would call deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the Eight Sentinels. There is much and more to tell. Very well. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garlon, you know me better than to think I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides it. It used to be jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's all yours now. I wish you joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. If you are ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rombros, may wish to be present. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldesion. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through elegant technology. That is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, might I ask why you and yours were created? And more specifically, what is it that you seek to do now? Answering your questions requires that we revisit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there, that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred decadence, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologist made it his mission to restore Alleg to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the ailing empire wanted but for a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Zonde. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Empire's descendants. We are the product of that experiment, copies of Une and Doga. Historical texts mention the reign of two Allegan emperors named Zonde. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. I think the two were in fact one and the same. Aye, Xande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more. And true to Amon's predictions, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Empire desired to bring the entire world under Allagan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Xande turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Darkness again? Seven hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? Well, at least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Xande is very much alive. Within Syrcus Tower, he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalamud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathering the sun's energy and channeling it to the tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blink of an eye, the mighty Allagan Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, technologist Amon, now Emperor Xande's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed in a deep slumber. In that state they were to remain until the time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia lying dormant, Dalamud was summoned back to the earth. His descent triggered the Seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. That moment, Emperor Xande was reawakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. It is for no other purpose but to put an end to Xande's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Une and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on the mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Xande, we finally struck out to find a worthy ally. It has taken years, but our search is finally over. It is no ordinary man who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, viewers Nars, we are confident that we can end Xande's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon. Setting my chagrin aside, I see now why you knew about the students of Baldessian, among a host of other things. You're observing our investigation the whole time. So what will you do, viewers? The world's in grave danger again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. You have our eternal gratitude. Together let us see the Allagan's dark past laid to rest. It has been our mission to recover long-lost knowledge of the Allagan civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think the tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Une and Doga, living, breathing Allagans. So I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth, we shall direct all efforts towards a sealing of Syrcus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. Yours, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say this includes Emperor Zonde himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Syrcus Tower from the outside world. To work, then. Wait, there is something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The elegant eye, you called it, but to us, it is the royal eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I am quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there has been much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Syrcus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zonde himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal off the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. This is Syrcus Tower, the first raid, or the second raid introduced in Final Fantasy. This is Syrcus Tower, the second raid introduced, or the second Alliance raid introduced in Final Fantasy XIV. It was released in patch 2.3, and it's honestly one of the easier, it's probably the easiest Alliance raid out there. That may be the first one of Heaven's Room. But that one might just be the numbers outdo it. Make sure to try and stay behind most of the enemies, because they do have area of effect abilities. I don't have their health showing. Huh. Well, I'll just have to work with that. Okay, cool. We got it. I'm playing a healer because healers kind of get a solid grasp of the setup, the locations. they get to see and observe all the mechanics and how they impact other players. Our tank decided he's going to tank the boss. That's good by me. Those three are used to power, see the lightning on the corners? There's 3 of those, and you can use those spears to actually power those up. I don't remember what it does. It's an age-old mechanic. Staff of Elder Rings have always gotten ignored. No one's ever really done anything with them. We're gonna finish that up. Wow, we have a lot of frozen people. You're supposed to use those fire orbs to hit the people who have gotten hit with ice. The ice orbs, the frozen fellows. You can see one of our healers just did a great job with that. And you stand in these puddles while Ancient Flare goes off. Will reduce the damage taken. Or we can just kill the boss. That works too. It's always a win. Do not need the gear. I will pass on it. The Acherons, I mentioned them last time. It's an enemy that the final boss of Labyrinth of the Ancients was originally named after. But that did get changed. Want to get our AoEs. There's only 2 enemies, so maybe not. I don't know about you guys, but when I make macros on this, they're normally just like, oh, that move that sends you to another ally? Yeah, put the /hug macro on it, or /hug emote on it. Why not? That guy open with, pretty sure the guy who's tanking now opened with Provoke. Just silly. Game is not structured around that. It's not a necessary mechanic. Provoke is usually only to swap tanks. And see, these tanks did something very bad. They pulled him out of one of our players' AoEs. Just don't want to do that. The better avoided situation. Reduces the damage you deal. That brown puddle was a ninja. damage over time. Fight you. I did an AoE heal. No one had taken enough damage for it to be a meaningful thing. Oh, we got someone caught in the area. Oh well. If you walk into the area with those clockwork rights, it'll paralyze you basically until someone destroys them. It's a remnant of old mechanics that are no longer used. So are these platforms. I'm too far away from the first person to get a... Oh yeah, barely. You're barely missing out. It's Syrcus. There's no shenanigans here. Alright, so one person gets a mark during this fight. And that person should run away from the party, but they normally don't. And if we can get those Haukas into a good position, you can AoE all three down. Right. Welcome to the stream, Roni Link. You missed me opening a couple of the material containers, the 3.0. You know, Heaven's Word and Realm Reborn minions. I got 2 minions I didn't have. Fantastic, that one. These enemies pop in throughout the match. You want to kill them as fast as possible. Now the Cum-Cums should be tanked. Shit, now I can't put this on YouTube. I got turned into a frog. So one of those snakes is gonna go after me. I do not know which one. That one? When the boss uses Curtain Call, for Curtain Call, you get behind these. The ice keeps you alive. If you're not in the ice. Wow. Okay. That's the first, well, not the first time, but it's the first time in a long time I've seen no one get hit by Curtain Call. Curtain Call kills you. If you're not hiding behind an ice block, you die. And if the ice block happens to be in his hitbox, it doesn't really work. Here we go. The final boss of Syrcus Tower. Might as well toss some heals out. Nothing else to use this window. So you want to destroy all these little things. They call AoE down. Big global AoE damage. Stonefall circles fall faster, and then Starfall circles. Kind of conventional early raid design, where you want to destroy the smaller ones that lack way faster and the bigger one in the center. Now this used to not have the clear stack markers. Used to have. That is a miracle. I love the new stack markers. Hey, someone died to that one. Well, I got the dot. With Fate, once you use Resia, your next attack turns into either dot or shield, depending on what you do. And unfortunately, I had no reason to heal or shield at that point. Let's hit it again. Get away. There we go, Syrcus Tower cleared. By far, the easiest Alliance raid. Void Arc. It's a hard one. They're both easy. As per their wishes, we defeated Zonde. Yours. You did it. You defeated Emperor Zonde. Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit lives on. Truly, you are the champion we had hoped for. With Emperor Zonde now laid in eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garlon, these are dangerous surrounds, and a man be faulted for exercising due caution. At any rate, you needn't mind me. I am perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came to do. There are two ways that we may seal off Syrcus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world, or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. Distortion? What is it? The power that Zonde sought to obtain comes from the Void, the world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Void sent. Void Scent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Zonde entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Void Scent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Une and I believe that we can annul it. By his blood, Zonde sealed his dark pact. By our blood shall it be undone. It is time. Yes, Doka. Finally, we may fulfill our promise. Hero in the background. Look like John Travolta. Oh, be still, my beating heart. For a moment, I feared that this outing would end in disappointment, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? Covenant everlasting. Oh no, they're wearing red. Like our guy's wearing green. They're Christmas villains. And so Mara City is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Allagan rule. Yet, every dream that becomes reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid. Endless void bereft of. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will cannot fathom my risk. Only here. Worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness. If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned. Yours, pull yourself together. No end to them? What in the seven hell is happening? Not now, damn it. Didn't his gun knife? I like how they turned their heads before they even started. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? David Japes Garland, I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with a worthless clones. Something controls them. A void scent. No ordinary one at that. Doga! Found it. Without them, there's no way to master the darkness. The power is mine. Nero! How's he gonna give him a scolding now? The covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return both to them. I meant the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult for Umbros. All this happened within the tower? God's person. The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. This I am certain. There exist myriad kinds of void scent. More powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Zonde sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. Better to imagine what this void scent is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we can't abandon our friends. There's no way to save them. Will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. The void scent can enter our world. Instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friends still live. Damn it, I feel so helpless. Nah, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga Inu. They're the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them fulfill their mission. A mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. Besides, I cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zonde's Dark Covenant is binding, our world is in danger. It is our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Une and Doga, you've not quite been yourself. Tell me true, it's all well with your eye. I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory that I must recall. As a child, my father told me the truth of our eye rests with Oleg. The answer eludes me still, but one day I will find it. I am with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Une and Doga. I, and that bastard Nero as well, only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. We have the right of it. Though we have known them but briefly, Doga and Une are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it may be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can, for when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. We'll save them yet, viewers. Mark my words. It's definitely got a soft spot for Nero. Make sure he can't make any more mischief. He's gonna die there, probably, so... I don't think he'd be causing any more mischief. Thanks for watching. I currently stream from noon to 4 Pacific time on Twitch and continue this New Game Plus run every Tuesday. If you appreciate the content, please like, subscribe, or watch me on Twitch.